Hey guys, thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Chris. Today I want to talk about the Grudge reboot. Now, if you don't know, they are making a reboot of the Grudge and it comes out this summer. The Grudge was a Japanese horror film originally titled Ju-un. It was remade for American audiences in 2004 starring Sarah Michelle Gellar. I saw it as a kid. I found it very frightening. Looking back at it, it's so-so. But there's still a lot of fans of the original Japanese version and even some fans of the American version. But I want to go ahead and let you know what they're doing with the reboot that they're coming out with because there's very little information and it comes out in 6 months. One of the interesting things to me about this movie is the cast that's involved. I mean, we have a staple of the horror genre, Lin Shaye, who's going to be in this. She's most notably known for being in the Insidious movies. And then you have John Cho, who I thought was excellent in the movie Searching. If you haven't seen that, check it out. And then you have the lead of the film that's going to be played by Andrea Riseborough. And even though there isn't an official plot for this movie, there's been some interviews with the director, producer, and writer that basically gives us a lot of information of what's going to go down in this movie. You have Sam Raimi, who's going to be producing the movies, and he was quoted as saying this earlier in the year: "We are so excited about this new adaptation. We went back to the original source material to deliver relentless supernatural thrill rides that explore the horror of American suburbia." Now, this is interesting to know because it gives us our first tidbit. This Grudge reboot is going to take place in America, and even in a remake that came out in 2004, that took place in a foreign country as to be in line with the original. So I think it's interesting that they're bringing it stateside now. The writer of this movie, Jeff Buller, was given an interview, and this is what he had to say. "The first thing I would say is that we're not approaching this as a remake of the Sarah Michelle Gellar film or a remake of the Ju-un film. This is pushing the mythology forward while keeping the concepts of the spirit of those movies, yet finding a new way to tell the story within that world. New characters, new ghosts, and a new mythology. I'm not really at liberty to say anything more than that for obvious reasons, as we're still in the scripting process. I think letting fans of the original series know we are not going back to the character of Kyoko and trying to mine what's already been mined is important." So that's kind of interesting to hear because the whole premise of The Grudge is this character Kyoko, who basically killed her children, is entrapped in this house, and then her vengeful spirit latches onto you, causing you to lash out and ultimately end up killing yourself. So it's interesting to me that they're not going to touch upon that at all, that they're not really even retelling the original story, that they're going to bring in a whole new ghost, a whole new mythology, and this just begs the question, then why call it The Grudge? Honestly, this just comes into territory of brand recognition and calling it The Grudge because that alone will make it gain a couple $1,000,000. We do have two photos. This looks like this is going to be the house, a behind the scenes image that's going to hold this haunted spirit of this new ghost. And then we also have another photo here where it was teasing, I guess, someone being murdered by this entity. All in all, is my opinion, I think it's cool that they're going to reboot The Grudge. I mean, that was a real creepy movie at the time. With the way everything's changed and horror nowadays, it would be really cool to see what they can do. But so far from what I'm getting, it doesn't look like it's going to be that different. In the end, it's still a ghost haunted house movie, and we have an endless amount of those today. And even all that stuff aside, the release date for this movie is June 21st, 2019. If you don't know yet, two movies that are going to be coming out on that day are Toy Story 4 and the Child's Play remake. I think this Grudge reboot is going to drown that weekend, so I wouldn't be surprised if they move it maybe a little closer to Halloween and that area, especially since we haven't heard anything about it. Not even a small teaser trailer, a poster, nothing. Not even a plot synopsis for a movie that comes out in 6 months. It could be The Sound of Trouble and them trying to really fix this movie up to be something and not a repeat of that Ring reboot. As just a horror fan, I'll definitely be there supporting John Cho. I'm gonna be there for him as well. But anyways, guys, let me know what you thought about this. What do you think about them rebooting The Grudge, giving it an all new ghost, all new mythology? Do you think it's worth it? Would you check it out? Are you a fan of the previous series? Let me know anything and everything, your thoughts down below. Be sure to like and subscribe. I do anything and everything movie related content. If you have a certain movie you want me to do a news stories on or bring you up to date, just go ahead and let me know down below and I'll try working on that. I'm still waiting for some It Chapter 2 news so we can bring that forward. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.